Hello, it is Thursday, March 14th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Thursday crossword today, so that means we've got what should be some kind of interesting or intricate theme. I have heard it's not too challenging a puzzle today as far as Thursdays go. We'll see if I have that same experience. And this interesting or intricate, but hopefully not too challenging edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by David Innes, Josh Lucas, Alex, and as always, the indomitable Showmaster. Thank you so much to the four of them. They're benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, which means they support this channel. They keep this whole series going. I'm very grateful to them for that. Thanks to those four benefactors, and thanks to everybody who's a patron of the channel. It does mean a lot to me. And if you'd like to join their ranks, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you will find all of the bonus videos available to patrons, which includes the second now of this ongoing season's Spring Themeless League Passwords series. So puzzle number two is up there. Improved my time. Maybe had some other less than improved qualities. But anyway, you can see that if you're a patron. And thanks to everybody who is. I really do appreciate it. Patreon.com/dailysolve. And thanks as well if you subscribe to the channel. That's a big help. And finally, there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server, which you can join via a description field link as well. Nice, friendly chat community over there. And finally, as a reminder, I am traveling. I'm traveling from today for about a week and a half, so there may be interruptions. I will try to have something up on the main channel every day. I might be solving fewer of the kind of extra shorter daily puzzles other than the crossword, and sometimes I won't be solving the daily crossword. I'll be solving something else, but hopefully there's something up of some description every day. Apologies for any exceptions to that promise, or that, I shouldn't say promise, to that endeavor. Anyway, let's get on with it. This is the crossword for Thursday, March 14th. It's by Jeffrey Martinovic, who has constructed a small handful of puzzles for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always. No. Oh. It was edited by Joel Faliano. Sorry, I only just saw that. Wow, interesting. Okay, I suppose Will Shortz must not be recovered yet from his stroke, and I guess they must have run out of existing edited puzzles. Wow, that's really interesting. Okay, well, this is probably a rare case in the last more than 30 years that we haven't been edited by Will Shortz, and I think possibly the first time during this series. I only just realized it. I'm sorry about that. Wow, that feels like quite a shock. Okay, well, in any case, we will solve the puzzle edited by Joel Faliano. So all the best wishes to Will Shortz. I hope he recovers quickly. And let's start solving. Pair on a schooner. Pair of masts is a schooner. A schooner is a type of ship, but maybe a two-masted ship, I would guess. Also, it looks like this puzzle is squatter. It looks like it's maybe 14 rather than 15 tall. Yeah, that is the case. And it is 15. And also, we've got this sort of, what is this? It looks like a sort of torii, that kind of Japanese gateway. That has a kind of religious significance. It might mean something else, but let's keep solving. Last in a series. The nth, maybe you could say first, second, third, then have an ellipses, and then nth. It may be thrown by a vaquero. So vaquero is sort of a cowboy kind of figure, so maybe a lasso. Player at Citi Field. I know that Citi Field's in New York, so it is probably a Met. The New York Mets is a team. Oh, okay, never mind. That feels nice, you might say. Could be A-H-H, or it could be A-A-H. Never quite sure which it'll be. I think this kind of relaxed sound looks better with two H's, but you never know. It doesn't look as correct here in the across. Hurry with your dinner. Yeah, it's two A's. Hurry with your dinner. Eat up. Science who notably passed away on 33 down, 2018. 33 down says an irrational reason to celebrate. Oh, it's not that sort of Japanese gateway construction. It's Pi. Oh, it's Pi Day. It's 314. Right, it's March 14th, 3.14, the first three digits of pi. So there we go. I don't know what scientist notably passed away on Pi Day in 2018. Stephen Hawking, maybe? Um, is his name spelled with a PH? I think it is. Okay, that that might be right. 2018 sounds right to me for when he passed away. What about this one? Scientist who was notably born on 33 down, 1879. Interesting. Starting with an S, I'm not sure. Okay, we'll come back to it. You might go on tiptoe while wearing this. You might go on tiptoe while wearing a tutu. A ballerina might go, or a ballet dancer might go on tiptoe. Fungus to be, so spore. Fungus could grow from a spore. Celebratory seasons could be Noel's, the Christmas season. First digit of this puzzle subject, whose next four digits are the number of rows and then columns of the grid. 3, so 3 is the first digit of pi. Whose next four digits are the number of rows and then columns of the grid. I see. That's why we have 3.1415. Right, that's why it's 14 rows and 15 columns. I see. There we go. Very good. B-ball, basketball hoops is a term for basketball. To apply as sunscreen would be to lather it, to... There might be a different word for lasso. Maybe a Spanish word. Apply as... Because I would think apply as subscreen would be something like dab on or that sort of thing. But I'm not sure. What about this? Origin story in Genesis 11, verses 1 to 9. The origin story in Genesis. This will seem obvious when I get it, but I'm not sure offhand. I don't know. Colorful language. Purple prose. There we go. Sort of overwrought language. Too much sort of description and metaphor and so on. New Deal organization. Oh, the Works Progress Administration. That was a Roosevelt instituted program during the New Deal era. Parks. If one parks carefully, one eases into the parking spot. And what some thank God for. Oh, Friday. Thank God it's Friday, goes the saying. So then what is... Oh, the Tower of Babel is an origin story. In this case, I suppose, the biblical origin story of diverse human language. Okay, so to apply sunscreen would be to dab it on. It may be thrown by a vaquero. So I was right that it's not lasso, but I don't know what it is. So that's not very helpful. Like an obelisk at night, maybe. I'm not sure. And some craft drafts for short. Could be IPAs, so draft beers made at a craft brewery. You could have IPAs, India Pale Ales. Scientist who was notably born on Pi Day 1879. Albert Einstein, right. Okay. I wouldn't have thought about Einstein before because I had the wrong cross here in 9 across. So there we go. To make even would be to tie your score in a game. And home of the Braves for short. So this looks like a sports team as well. Atlanta Braves? Oh. This looks wrong. Riata. That is a term for a lasso or something like a lasso. I don't know enough about that world, I suppose. But rub on is some subscreen. It's not dab on. There we go. That is better anyway. And an obelisk at night might be uplit. You might have uplighting on some kind of monument at night. Company that launched the world's first communications satellite. I don't know. Presumably a telecommunications company, but I can't think what it would be. Radar gun stat for short. Could be miles per hour or kilometers per hour. Probably miles per hour in this context. So checking for speeding motorists or something. Comedian and political commentary Bill, probably Bill Maher, who I think was in the puzzle the other day, actually. Don't think of him as being all that common in the crossword, but sometimes that happens. Part of 10 down. So 10 down is IPAs, India Pale Ales. So ales would be the bit that goes here. Who said courage is knowing what not to fear? Plato, maybe? I'm guessing, in 5 letters with a P and an L. Let's try that and see. World capital noted for its French colonial architecture. Hanoi, certainly, that is true because of the, obviously, the French colonial history there. Same here could be so do I or so am I, actually. Could be either of those, but I will go here. Mario Kart platform could be the Wii, I suppose. Mario Kart platform might as well be probably any Nintendo console, I guess, since the Super Nintendo. Um, that could be wrong, but probably just about. Anyway, Actor Hawk. So Wii being a Nintendo video game console, obviously. Okay. Actor Hawk, Ethan Hawke is an actor. That disambiguates same here. It is so am I rather than so do I. And if something if a person, I suppose, goes around, they roam. So goes around, roams. To require something would be to insist on it, maybe. You say, I require this, I insist on it. Neighbor of India, abbreviation. Pakistan, of course, very, very notable neighbor of India. And something read by a chiromancer. I think chiromancy is the ostensible sort of art or science of palm reading. So you could read someone's palm if you're a chiromancer. And a big movie star, e.g., could be an A-lister, someone on the celebrity sort of A-list, the most in-demand celebrities. Actress Shawkat of Search Party. Alia Shawkat is an actress. I haven't seen Search Party. That's a TV show. I was getting it confused with a different unrelated movie. Alia is her name. Okay, it might be a Y. Do I think it's a Y? No, don't think so. Where an important call may be directed. I'm not sure. What about this? Purplish red. Magenta would be purplish red. There we go. And if one asks, get it? You could say, see? Do you see it? Do you get it? Line one? Oh, maybe, I suppose, in a business's kind of internal telephone system, line one could be an important call to the CEO or something. Okay, if something took a turn, it went, maybe. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. Took a turn in that direction, went in that direction. Yeah, you could say that. Component in a car's suspension system. Sway bar? Don't know if that's right. Starting point for a slippery slope argument. Gray area. I see. Yeah, so you could say it's a real gray area. If this starts happening, you never know. It could do this, and then it's a slippery slope, which often are somewhat disingenuous arguments. Geocaching necessity in brief would be GPS, Global Positioning System. So I've never participated in geocaching, but I gather it's a thing you do with your phone where you try and find a particular location. I'm not sure how the clues work, but it's based on GPS coordinates. Okay, headstone heading would be RIP, rest in peace, you might see on a headstone in a graveyard, for instance. CAPTCHA targets. So CAPTCHA, these are those things online where you have to solve some sort of ideally simple puzzle that proves you're not a robot. What are the spam bots maybe are the targets? Let's see if that works here. Legal position in municipal government. ADA, Assistant District Attorney, I think this would be in a U.S. municipal government context. And then tuber that can be candied. So tuber as in the root vegetable, so a yam in this case. You could have candied yams, that is a dish. I think this might be sway bar. Okay, that sort of just sounded vaguely familiar to me and plausible. And if you're imagining what a suspension system does, it tries to keep the car from the ride from kind of bouncing around too much. So something to do with swaying. What professional tennis has been in since 1968? The Open era, which I gather means anyone can enter major tournaments. There's probably more nuance to it than that, but something sort of to that effect. Where the chair of St. Peter can be found in St. Peter's Basilica. Must be the apse. This is certainly the official, element of religious architecture of the New York Times crossword is the apse. If a part of a church is being suggested by a clue, and it's 4 letters long, consider the apse. Okay, system that ended in 1917. The Tsardom, or something to do with it's obviously the system of czars in Russia. Tsarism, I guess it is. Yeah, system of czarism, as opposed to say, you might phrase it monarchism. Okay, so gun lobby group in the U.S. would be the NRA, the National Rifle Association. Weeks in Spain are semanas. Is that right? Boy, I'm always so embarrassed when I can't instantly be confident about Spanish clues. I really need to rectify that. Here we have Ursa Major, is a constellation, the Great Bear. And then here we have relatives of berets are tams. So this is, tams and berets are both kind of flattish sort of caps. Tams more associated with Scotland, and berets often with France, although berets are used in many military contexts and other countries as well. Anyway, here we have blank blank, it looks like rain, Christopher Robin. So tut tut, it looks like rain. Must be a quote from Winnie the Pooh. Okay, a majority of the characters on TV's Saint Elsewhere, in brief. A majority of the characters. I don't know. This is sort of before my time. I mean, it might have aired when I was, alive, but I've never seen it. Okay, one might center around being unprepared for a test. One might center around being unprepared for a test. Is this the show that ends with a character having dreamed the entire series? That's the I think this might be a show in which it concludes by one of the characters having dreamed the entire events of everything that came before. But because this show, I hope I'm not misremembering that this is what it is, because this TV series had so many crossovers with other concurrently running TV shows, if it were true that the whole events of this show had been dreamed by this one character, that would suggest that the events of all of those other shows whose characters had appeared in the continuity of this show, it would suggest that those were also sort of had been dreamed up, because why else would those characters be there? They must have also been dreamed up by this person. So I think there's an entire online theory, something called the Saint Elsewhere theory or something like that, that sort of demonstrates when you start connecting the dots about shows had crossovers with other shows, some enormous percentage of kind of 1980s and 90s and even sort of 2000s U.S. network television is kind of purported to be in the mind of this character on Saint Elsewhere. I really hope I'm not misremembering which series it is, but I think that might be the case. Anyway, one might center around being unprepared for a test. Oh, a dream, some kind of bad dream, I guess. Yeah, that's a common subject of bad dreams. No blank, unacceptable, no bueno, you might say, speaking of Spanish. 1979 movie with the line, "This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off, Alien." A great, great film by Ridley Scott. And here we have like lead or gold, notably. Dense, those are dense metals. Mathematician known for the constant E, 2.71828 Euler. There we go. I don't remember what this means, to be honest, but I remember the existence of Euler's constant. Oh, doctors, I guess, are a majority of the characters on TV St. Elsewhere. It might have been a hospital drama, I guess. Okay, last in a series would be et al. So you might list authors of, say, an academic paper or something. You list maybe two of them, and then you say et al. For the rest. Here we have Carolina NHLers informally. So this is the National Hockey League. But I do not know what they are. Sorry. Here we have like the main character in many a horror film, or so they believe. They may believe they're alone, but the killer is in fact behind them. So company that launched the world's first communications satellite, RCA maybe? I mean, that RCA made electrical devices and things. So Carolina Canes, though, that sounds a bit strange. Oh, but it was it. Okay, I kind of didn't expect that to be right, but turns out it was. I don't know what this is informal language for. Canes, I don't... No clue. Doesn't ring a bell to me at all, but doesn't matter. We've solved the puzzle. We've solved a rare non-Will Shortz edited puzzle. I do think that was on the gentle side for a Thursday crossword, but that often actually occurs with with puzzles themed after holidays, because the holiday, if it's not a holiday based on day of the week, but rather date, which obviously this one is if it's based on date, such as this, often they don't end up exactly slotting into the sort of day of the week difficulty. That's a very common phenomenon. So it's not a huge surprise. And also, presumably, this falling out of the standard editorship expectations. I wouldn't be surprised if things are just a bit off kilter over there right now. Once again, I really do wish the best to Will Shortz. I hope he's in good shape medically. But anyway, there we have it. That was our Pi Day puzzle. Pi Day, and this is very nice construction here. We sort of have these death and birth bookends. So we have Stephen Hawking, who passed away on Pi Day, and Albert Einstein, more than a century earlier, born on Pi Day. What a funny, odd coincidence. And then we had another mathematical tip of the hat here with Euler's constant, and I don't think we had any other mathematics in here. We might have, but anyway, that was the Thursday crossword, and hope you enjoyed it. I will do my best to be back tomorrow, but like I say, I'll be traveling for about a week and a half, and I will be busy and tired much of the time. So we'll see. There may be times when I'm unable to solve the daily crossword. I have solved a few bonus crosswords to put up on the channel. Ideally, I've solved enough to cover my off days, so I'll do my best. Anyway, once again, best wishes to Will Shortz, and I will be back soon. Take care.